Will be a vote this week. It's Wednesday. There's not that many days left in the week. We just want to pop out of this and finish up with Kellyanne Conway. And you're listening to Kellyanne, and you dropped a bit of a headline the other day on Sunday when you were being interviewed, saying that you were a victim of sexual assault yourself. And I just, as you listen to Mitch McConnell and follow this debate with Dr. Ford and the confirmation vote of Brett Kavanaugh, what more do you want to add about the context that you have in your own life, about your experience that you have brought to this issue?
None. I don't intend to be the story, and that obviously wasn't planned, but I will repeat the full sentence for you because I didn't leave it at that. I put comma, and therefore I don't hold all men responsible for that. I hold the perpetrator responsible for that. And I don't think we should be judging the harm, the grief, and the impact on those who have suffered sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape. We shouldn't judge that according to their politics. And whether you work for President Trump, whether you're a lifelong or registered Democrat or have Democratic attorneys, and certainly whether you're nominated to the United States Supreme Court by President Trump. So that was my entire point, that now we're blaming all men. Mitch McConnell being chased through an airport with the four-letter word rape being thrown at him. It's a disgrace, and the country sees it. That's why in the latest Quinnipiac polls, a lot of those voters who were just sort of humming along, agreeing but not intensely so, are swinging back if you look at the latest poll. And that's not even a great poll usually for Republicans and conservatives, because people are watching this, and they do worry about the men in their life. They do worry about the impact going forward of what this means. But this has nothing to do with me, except to say that we have to make sure that we're not blaming an entire gender for what individual men have done, and that we're not judging people and the deference they should be given, or the being treated like a Fabergé egg, or being treated like crap.
Understood.
Based on their politics and where they work.
Understood.
Wink, wink.
Thank you for offering
May I just say one thing? Leader McConnell said it perfectly. This is precisely what many rank and file voters are feeling. And we hear from them constantly, which is that nothing will ever be good enough, not just for the Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee, but all the Democrats who aren't voting for Judge Kavanaugh. And I think if you're a red state Democrat right now, you are stuck choosing between this, being complicit in a process that has been about delay and destruction, and the will of your own people in your states. If you're one of those 3 Democratic senators who voted for Neil Gorsuch just over a short year ago, Senators Manchin, Heitkamp, and Donnelly in Indiana, you've got to think about this. What has changed? Because your voters want a Supreme Court nominee to be confirmed. They don't want this obstruction. They don't like the socialist way the Democratic Party is going.
It's obviously a critical point, a critical moment. Meanwhile, front page, New York Times, big story for them. Your reaction from the White House on their reporting Trump engaged in suspect tax schemes as he reaped riches from his father. This report, Kellyanne, makes the case that the president is not a self-made man, that he's been given money from his family since he was a child, and they did it by means of complicated tax schemes and beyond.
Well, as the president has said, it is the first time he's ever witnessed a major outlet taking the time value of money and pushing it forward. But his attorney, Charles Harder, made very clear yesterday this is 100% inaccurate, and that the people who were hired to work on these issues decades ago were all professionally licensed and swore themselves that what they were attesting to was fact and legal. So these are CPAs, these are attorneys, they are real estate experts, and that he denies this completely through his attorney. And also, I think what our press secretary Sarah Sanders said yesterday about this is very instructive, which is, does the mainstream media ever see anything positive in a booming economy? Even just today, we have the projection of 185,000 new jobs in the private sector, but it was 230,000. Where's that? Where's the highest stock market? The boom, the lowest unemployment rates. They've never met a piece of good news under the Trump administration. And so the president is right about that. But this has been denied by his attorney, by his press secretary, and by him. And I think the play here is 2 things. Number one, I guess they're moved on from Russia collusion because it obsessed them for 2 years, and I haven't heard it in a while. Number two, and most importantly, they're just trying to goad the president into suing them so they can get his tax returns. And haven't they learned yet that President Trump always gets the last laugh and the upper hand in all of this?
That's been a long fight. Kellyanne, I thank you for your time. We're out of time. I hope you come back. Do you have a prediction on the Kavanaugh vote? Does he get confirmed, and what is the final tally?
Here at the White House, the president is standing behind his nominee, and we recognize that those red state Democrats are in a very difficult position, choosing between the leftward-leaning complicity in a destructive process that hurt both Ford and hurt Kavanaugh, and doing the will of their voters. These states where the president,
a justice of the Supreme Court? Does he get by?
Yes. Yes, he will be on the Supreme Court.
Thank you. Kellyanne Conway, thank you so much for your time.